अभी बहुत धमाल होने वाला है. You will have your dose of laughter with the super amazing comedy stand-up comedian अतुल खत्री, जो हमारे डैलस में परफॉर्म करने वाले. हम ही जानेंगे कहाँ. एंड लीडिंग कॉमेडियन तो है ही इंडस्ट्री के, पर दुनिया का दिल जीत रहे हैं हंसा हंसा के. एंड कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर रह चुके हैं, ब्रिटिश मैनेजमेंट स्कॉलर रह चुके हैं, और अब आ गए हैं हमारे फन एशिया रेडियो पर. वेलकम वेलकम अतुल, हाउ आर यू डूइंग टुडे?
Thank you, Navneeta. Thank you so much for having me here. Hi, Dallas. How are you guys doing?
वंडरफुल वंडरफुल, एंड वी आर सो एक्साइटेड टू हैव यू. तो ये जो आप कॉमेडी करते हैं, इतना ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंस होने के बाद विटी तो आप अपने काम में होंगे. हाउ डिड कॉमेडी हैपन? ओवरनाइट ड्रीम आया कि अच्छा कल से मैं कॉमेडी करूंगा?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं था. But I was at the age of 44. I was running an IT company in Mumbai in India, and you could call it midlife crisis. You could call it, my wife was pressurizing me कि और भी कुछ करो जिंदगी में. That I decided to do a lot of things, but then finally I was always a fan of comedy. जब छोटा था तो I used to watch Padosan movies like Padosan, Bombay to Goa, the classics. I was a big fan of that. So I said, let me give it a try for stand-up comedy. So actually, it was a New Year resolution. 1st Jan 2012, मैंने बोला जिंदगी से और भी कुछ करना चाहिए than just work. तो I went for an open mic. बच्चों को नहीं बताया, बोले बाप सठिया गया इस उम्र में कॉमेडी कर रहा है. And but still I went for the open mic and I did very well there. और वहाँ से you could say शुरू हुआ, because you know, Navneeta, when you go on stage, the kind of positive hormones which rush through your body, मेरे को लगता है 2 रात में सोया नहीं था उसके बाद. And so that got me more addictive. And for 4 years, from 2012 to 2016, मैंने दोनों किया, अपना CEO गिरी किया, stand-up comedy किया. And in 2016, I resigned my job and got full-time into comedy. And here I
वाओ.
am, second time in Dallas.
तो गाइज, अगर आपकी बीवी आपको बोल रही है कि कुछ और करो, तो आप कॉमेडी कर सकते हैं और रिजाइन भी कर सकते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम गेटिंग फ्रॉम दिस जेंटलमैन. आई मीन, इट्स सच अ डिफिकल्ट जोन, बट वेयर डू यू गेट ऑल दीज फनी स्टफ फ्रॉम? मतलब जोक्स आते कहाँ से हैं?
यार मैं सबको बताता हूँ, आप रोज टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया खो इंडिया में, यू विल गेट 5 hours of material, you know. और
I agree.
और यहाँ
That's
वहाँ
cute.
देखो, jokes are everywhere. It's only that I think it requires a different kind of a mindset to find jokes from simple day, situations, observations, and make jokes on it. Go on stage and say it, and also make money out of it.
वाओ मैन, देयर आर ओनली फ्यू पीपल हु कैन मेक मनी. हम तो बहुत कॉमेडी करते हैं, मेरे जीडू राम भी है हमारे रेडियो पर, यू नो. बट what has been your best performances? So I know I have seen them, I have laughed. मूड भी खराब हो तो मूड ठीक हो जाता है आपको सुनकर. So what has been your worst performance ever?
It was few years back. It was in Delhi. I remember it was a private show. It was a corporate show. और मुझे बताया नहीं था ये लोग ने. तो usually you talk to the client कि कौन है आपके clients, कौन सुनने वाला है. Somehow that was one of the days. It was a very busy week. तो मैंने पूछा, I went straight into the show, and मेरे सामने all these people were there from China, from Cambodia, from Korea, people who didn't understand English. तो मैंने बोला, यार आपका जो सुबह को ऑफ साइट था, मीटिंग थी, बोलते हाँ तभी तो ट्रांसलेटर्स थे. I said वो कहाँ है? बोलते अभी तो चले गए वो. तो
हाँ.
I said तो ये लोग क्या समझेंगे? बोलते नहीं सर, हमने भी सोचा नहीं था, अभी आप जो मांगता है करो. So I was performing to a room of around 150 people from Southeast Asia who didn't know how to speak English. पता नहीं क्या उनको. So I tried to do some
वाह.
crowd work, but I bombed so badly, and I think that was one of my worst shows of my life,
So cute.
because. But still, I stood on stage for 15 minutes, tried to talk to people, but they were just not understanding because they didn't understand English.
हाँ,
So
oh my
that was a
God.
big.
Imagine a crowd who doesn't understand English and you are trying. हिंदी तो definitely उन दूर दूर तक समझ नहीं आती, but English भी नहीं आए. How cute. But you international, जब आपने कहा, you're the first comedian to go international with that Hong Kong comedy show, and then it started. क्यों इंडिया में ये कॉमेडी की कदर नहीं हो रही थी? Sorry, jokes apart. But
No, no, no.
how?
But if see, for a comedian, it's very important to go outside of your, क्या बोलते हैं, अपने कुएं को, अपने वो फ्रॉक को, अपने मेंढक को अपने कुएं से निकल के बाहर भी जाना पड़ता है. तो that was at in 2014, 2015. I did the Utrecht International Comedy Festival, Hong Kong Festival, Dubai Festival. I went for a lot of festivals. 2 years back, I also went for the Just for Laughs Festival, which was in Australia. It's very good to get out of your zone and try to perform to white audiences from all across the world, and see whether your stories can they also relate to. So India में तो obviously we are all there, and Indian audience is one of the best audiences ever. but it's also good as a comedian to go out and challenge yourself.
So does it happen like these are different kind of audiences? You have to do a lot of research on what that will make sense to them, because going global to different countries, it's not an easy job with comedy, because every community has a different sense of humor. हम यहाँ पर
Absolutely.
रहते हैं, अंग्रेज लोगों की कॉमेडी हमारी कॉमेडी से बहुत डिफरेंट है.
You are right. I remember first time I went to Utrecht International Comedy Festival, which is in Netherlands, and there the crowd is very different. वो लोग क्या हंसते नहीं, इंडिया में क्या लोग जोर से हंसते, पेट खोल के हंसते हैं. So they were all just smiling and chuckling, and then you felt you've done a bad job. But at the end of the comment, say, "Hey, you were very nice." I said, "Then why didn't you laugh?"
You told
And they,
them because you
yeah,
have that habit कि अरे अब इसके लिए तो हंसना पड़ेगा.
So it was one of those situations. So every culture has different. Americans love to laugh because they've seen comedy. British people, Germany, Europe, they are very different. They don't laugh too much. So it's very important to understand also what works in the country, what doesn't work in the country. For the particular, I would say, culture. For example, I remember if you go to, I have a lot of jokes on my wife, which in India they work very well. But I went to the UK and performed, and there those guys are thinking, यार तेरे को इतना problem है अपनी बीवी से, तू divorce क्यों नहीं करते हो? Why are you coming on stage and doing that?
बहुत नाराज हुई होगी घर में जाके.
नहीं,
But
as long as you get the money home, keep me happy. जो मेरे बारे में बोलो, I'm okay.
how
That's
cute. Oh हाँ, मतलब that should keep coming in. ये अच्छी वाली बात है. But bringing to that, अभी आपका शो यहाँ है and you are traveling all over America. What brings you
जी.
to America?
So this was actually, I came in America for my first tour in 2018. फिर मैं 2020 में भी आने वाला था, but thanks to the pandemic, the tour got cancelled, and now I'm here in 2023 with my show called Daddy Cool. We got like 12 shows across America. मेरे दो show already हो गए, Santa Clara और LA में, and I'm in Dallas on Saturday. Then I'm in Seattle, I'm in Houston, I'm in Austin, Boston, New Jersey, and then in Toronto. So yes. We love the American audiences and the Indians who live here, and looking forward for my show because I'm very excited. It's a show I've been working on for a very long time and really looking forward.
So what do they expect from you in the show? People who are listening, who are going to your
I
show.
I promise them 1.5 hour of great laughter. They will further, क्या होता है when you laugh, na, there are these positive hormones which flow in your bloodstream. It's a medical fact. So
Absolutely.
I promise them that for 1.5 hour, at the end of 1.5 hour, they will go home with their face glowing because their blood is rushing through their body. So as they say, laughter is the best medicine. So please come and watch the show. You'll have great fun. We are coming all the way from India. I will request you to come drive your 20 miles, 30 miles, जहाँ जहाँ आप हो suburbs में, because I know Dallas is a huge city. So please come and watch the show and support Indian comedy because we require your support.
Absolutely. You also started during the COVID times. Something which was making other people laugh, and that was a initiative that you started. What was it
Yeah.
called? Something with nut it had to do.
Yeah, so there were two initiatives. One was I started doing something called as only positive news. So during the pandemic, if you remember, you open the TV, you read the newspaper. There was so much negative news anywhere. There was so much uncertainty. So I started doing these videos. I came up with 200 videos of something called as only positive news. जो भी positive news world में हो रही थी, I had to make
Wow.
a small video out of it, and people got a lot of
Happiness.
strength and a lot of happiness out of those positive news. I also did something. There's a psychiatrist in Mumbai. Her name is Dr. Anjali Chabria. I did something called the Shrink and the Nut. Obviously, she's the shrink, I'm the nut. Where during that time, people were having a lot of anxiety, a lot of, and we had to address these issues of mental health awareness. So we again did a lot of shows online about trying to teach people about. In India, where there is also a lot of stigma about mental health. So we're trying to remove the stigma and telling people to recognize mental health and go to the proper counselor or the psychiatrist near your house and take help immediately. Just like how you have cardiac disease, you have other disease in the body, even mental health issues are very, very serious, and you should take care of it and the right, I would say, ilaj.
Laughter is the best medicine, and that will bring us to the break now. It is amazing. It is amazing speaking to you, Atul. We are looking for the show. बहुत मजा आने वाला. I know 1.5 hours of laughter. Can you imagine, listeners? आप सुन रहे हैं FunAsia Radio, and here we have Mr. Atul Khatri, who is coming this weekend in Dallas. church where we will be performing live. Thank you so much.
Thank you.